Casey, a player who's not afraid to play the game, but that has caused her a lot of harm in jury. Her other tribe mates do not trust her in this final 5, but she thinks she has what it takes to win this $2 million and continue this legacy she's been on. Clav, a contestant who at first survived by manipulating others in the shadow, has been more outspoken recently and has garnished friends and alliances to get himself farther in this game. He will use this ability and the alliances he's made along the way to make it to the final 3 and win this game for the jury who never knew he was going to be the winner all along. Seattle wasn't even an original contestant on this season. He was a replacement for another contestant after I found out they were fraudulent. He believed in himself, but he never believed he would make it this far or to the final 3. He's made it aware to people that he's living in a struggling position where he could definitely use the money to help him. He's in a household where most people there sleep on deflated air mattresses. He's lucky enough to sleep on a pull-out couch. However, since he is the strongest contestant and he hasn't made an effort really to befriend the jury, he is afraid of what's to come in this game. Ginny is the definition of someone who never thought they could make it this far and they just wanted to play the game for fun. However, when she thinks about it, she thinks she can make it to the final 3 and garnish, gather, and collect the jury votes she needs to get this $2 million. She knows she has people on the jury that she would vote for and that would vote for her. She made strong alliances and she hoping that bails her out and helps her win this game. Kata, the friend of everyone, never harming anyone, never double crossing. She has only been honest and loyal. The only player in this game that can say that. She used her abilities and outdoor experiences to survive this game, help her teammates, and provide for the tribe. The jury, aware of her efforts, may think once or twice about casting a vote her way to win this $2 million. They are here now, ready to play in this final 5 immunity challenge. This episode, we will find the true canon winner of this game. This challenge is quite simple, but it is gonna hurt. Each contestant must stand on a very big block of ice while holding 2 bags of embers with oven mitts on. If you drop either of the ember bags or you get off the block of ice, you are eliminated. They all step on the ice and Kat is like, ooh, that kind of cold. And Jenny's like, oh my god, this reminds me of the one time that me and my auntie polar plunged. That was such a fun time. R.I.P. auntie. Seattle's like, he is like, this is kind of cold, but I've been in worse conditions. I've been in colder. And then each of them gets the embers, and this is where they're like, okay, this is the challenge. I see now. The timer has started, and everyone is now participating. Whoever wins this challenge gets immunity, and they need it and want it. They didn't make it this far for no reason, and there are no more idols in the game. Clav, Casey, Jenny, Kata, all of them are trying not to focus on the burning hand sensation. Like they're trying to move their hands around a little bit to like cause air relief. But Seattle, he hates the ice part of this. He hates it. Now, these bags of embers are really starting to get to Kata and Casey. And Casey knows she's very much at like peril to be eliminated at tribal. So knowing she can't continue, she makes a last ditch effort. She's like, you know what? I have an idol. I'm not going to burn my hands if I don't have to. And that is her bluff. She doesn't have an idol, but she's saying she does. They can be used up to the final 5. And hearing this, Kata, Jenny, Clav, they all get like eye wide. In Seattle, he's a bit surprised that she has an idol, but he's like, I knew it. You were acting too calm. I knew it. And she's just laughing on the inside that Seattle's confirming it, and now they're all scared. They're gonna try harder to lock in this game. But Kata can't help but just like toss the bag and start burning too much. She almost started tearing up. She's sad now. It comes down to Jenny, Clav, and Seattle. Clav is like taking deep breath. He's just trying to calm himself. He's in much pain. Jenny is like waving her arms in a circular motion to like get the most relief from air. But doing this, she wiggles some and she slips and falls, eliminating herself, which means it is Clav versus Seattle. And Seattle's like, Clav. And he's like, huh? Clav, me and Casey won't vote for you. Throw right now and we will not vote for you. And Clav, he doesn't know about that because, you know, he kind of wants to vote Seattle, if anything. So he just continues to stay put, but Seattle's like, all right. And their ice starts melting and melting. It's been about like 40 minutes now. Fresh embers are being added to the bags, and Clav is like, you know what? Is that offer still good? Is that offer still good, please? And Seattle's like, well, let me check my schedule. Let me see if I move Thursday. Yeah, it should be good. Clav drops, which means congratulations, Seattle. You won the final 5 immunity, guaranteed to be in the final 4. He did his thing. Congrats. Everyone else, however, must now prepare to go to tribal, and it will happen soon. You may talk amongst yourself. All right, these 3 here are talking to each other, and they just hear, you know, Casey and Seattle laugh as, you know, they walk on by to go to the cabins, making them only believe more that she does have an idol and he's safe. So that make, you know, sense why they're both laughing. And they're like, man, I don't want to vote any of us out. You know, Kat is saying that. Kat's like, I kind of wanted to vote Casey regardless. Can't we do that? And Jeannie's like, yeah, I agree with Kat. We should still vote Casey regardless. Even if she has an idol, that still means that none of us are going to be voted by her. And Clav, he's like a bit nervous because he doesn't know if he wants to leave it up to chance like that, because what if they just betray him anyway, or they tell the others that he made a deal and they betray him? So before any of that can happen, he excused himself to like the bathroom, but instead he's actually going to the cabins. He's like, hey, you guys, if I vote your way, you won't vote me, right? He's just trying to get into the final 4. He's usually loyal, but he's going into panic mode. And they're like, yeah, you might be able to vote with us. You willing to, no matter what? And he's like, yes, I promise. They tell each other who to vote. It is now time to go to the dock of shame, where someone will be voted out of this game and we will see our final 4. Seattle, congratulations on the dub. He's like, hey, I'm in the final 4. I'm doing this. I got the adrenaline. I'm like, hey, Seattle, you a good dude. Congrats. The rest of you, yikes. And Jenny's like, tell me about it. This is very sad. And I know Casey's gonna use her idol. One of us is gonna get it. It's probably gonna be me. And Kat is like, yeah, I'm also extremely nervous. I don't know what's about to happen. And honestly, I'm just happy that I got to make it this far. I hope I get to go farther. And Clav is like, yeah, I hope so too, Jenny, Kata. All of us are good friends, and you know, they hug and stuff, and it's really sad almost. Casey, you just publicly announced your idol like that. And Casey's like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna burn my hands if I don't have to. Hell no. And Kata was like, yeah, that was burning my hands too. And Jenny's like, I think I got frostbite on my feet. All right, you guys, it is time to vote. There are only 5 of y'all, so the voting process is quick. If anyone has an idol, this is your last chance to play it. Everyone looks at Casey and she's like, well, to be honest, I'm sure you guys still voted me because you're not that dumb, but I actually don't have an idol. Clav, Kata, Jenny, all of their jaws drop to the floor. Jenny even starts like tearing up a little bit. Casey, yo, she chuckles. She's like, no way. Tell me y'all didn't actually believe it. Oh my God. Casey can't believe it. All right, no idols are played. Let me reveal the votes. The first vote goes to Casey. The second vote goes to Kata. The third vote goes to Casey. The fourth vote goes to Kata. That's 2 votes Casey, 2 votes Kata, 1 vote left. The 14th person voted out of this game. I'm so sorry, Kata. You made it so far, and I kind of wanted you to win, low-key. You were an amazing character, an amazing contestant. I'm so sorry. Kata, she tears up a little bit, but she takes a deep breath through her nose, and she's like, you know what? That's fine. I had fun. She hugs Jenny, claps, she shakes Seattle's hand, and she's like, you know what? And she even hugs Casey, and then she's on her way. She's like, you guys do it. One of you will win. I will vote one of you to win. Stay amazing. Bye. There you go, Kata. 5th place is pretty good. Congratulations to this final 4. Please enjoy your last night on this island. And hearing this, Clav almost like immediately feels nostalgic. He can't believe this is his last night after everything. And Casey's like, well, wow, this is really it, huh? That's a little surreal. And Clav is like, so what happens now? There's immunity tomorrow and then it's winner by fire? And Jenny's like, yep, that's exactly what it says in the rule. In the final 4, there'll be an immunity challenge. Whoever wins that is safe. They'll choose one person to be safe with them, and the other 2 will have to verse off in a fire making contest. Whoever doesn't make the fire first loses. And Seattle's like, well, honestly, you guys are amazing competitors, but I'm here to win, as I'm sure you guys are. I'm gonna get some sleep. I got 2 milli to grab real quick. Good night. And Clav, he just kind of looks at Casey. He's like, hey, the whole idol move, I know, you know, I'm a little like sore about it, but that was honestly a very good play because you probably would have gone home. And Casey, you know, this only confirms everything she thought, but she was like, yeah, I had a feeling. That's why I did it. Plus, I really didn't want my hands to burn, for real. And Jenny was like, oh my God, that's so smart. You are so smart. That's a very smart move. I should have made it. And then all of a sudden, she just falls asleep out of nowhere. These 2 decide to actually sneak out one last time to be on the beach looking up at the stars, stargazing. And Clav is like, you know, no matter what happens, I'm glad one of us gets to be in the finale. And Casey's like, yeah, I appreciate that. Here's to a good finale. And they both actually end up falling asleep like that. Time for the final 4 challenge. This is the most important challenge of this season. It guarantees the winner into the final 3 cannot be voted out of this game, and they get to choose another person to come with them to the final 3, where the other 2 will have to fight in the fire making competition. In this challenge, each contestant is in the water under a grate. Their face is pushed up against the grate and the water sometimes goes above it. This is a survivor challenge. You may be aware what I'm talking about. They have to hold their breath when the tide comes in. If they get scared or feel like they might drown, they back out and they are eliminated. All right, they all get into their positions and the challenge has started. Now, to start off, Seattle just doesn't really like water to begin with, but he knows he needs this, especially if Clav or Jenny are still in. He kind of trusts Casey, but he doesn't trust either of them. It's basically a 2v2. Jenny wants to talk so bad, like her talkiness is building up, but she has to like conserve her air just in case water comes through. And the first tide comes in and they have to hold their breath for 8 seconds, which feels like a lot, especially for the first one. Immediately, Jenny's like, oh my God, I was so scared. I can't believe I had held my breath for that long. I can't believe the tide was like that. I hope there isn't more longer than that. And then immediately the tide comes in again, this time for 11 seconds, but Jenny is not able to hold her breath and have to eliminate herself because she used all her breath talking. And she is so upset and mad with herself. She's really hoping that Clav wins now. Casey is really hating this. Clav is as well. He hates every time the tide comes in, even if it's one of those like half a second ones. But Clav holds on because he knows Jenny got out. He needs to do this. But there's another tide and it just keeps rising and rising, holding their breath for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 45 seconds. And then finally they're able to breathe again. Casey and Seattle coughing, and Casey's like, oh hell no, Seattle, you got this. Casey was actually about to breathe through her nose because she couldn't hold her breath any longer. And she is pissed at herself, but she knows that Seattle has big lungs, so she's hoping he'll be okay. It is now the purples going against each other, wanting this, wanting to be guaranteed into the final 3. Time elapse of them keep, you know, coughing and then water coming in until eventually it rises and rises and it just doesn't come back down. It is a race against who can hold their breath the longest. And congratulations, the winner and cannot be eliminated from this game at all, guaranteed to talk to the jury, see Seattle, congratulations, you have won. He screams as he finally takes breaths of air. He can't believe he won. Guaranteed into the final 3. Casey pumping her fist, she's celebrating. Clav and Ginny, kind of have their heads bowed down, sad. But unfortunately for them, that is how the cookie crumbles. Besides them gathering their belongings and, reminiscing over the island, their cabins, their old tribe, it is just time to go to the campfire ceremony. Seattle is given the marshmallow, and he has one more he can give to anyone he wants. And it should be obvious, but just to make it official, he says, obviously, for jury management reasons, I have to take Casey. Here you go. Casey is extremely excited. She pumps her fist in the air. This is exactly what they wanted. Seattle and Casey both trained Ginny to beat Clav in this fire making competition. They both get into position, and then they start immediately. They both start scraping the magnesium or whatever, trying to get a good pile of it, putting a husk and stuff. Casey and Seattle watch intently. They want to know who's going to be in the final 3 with them. After a couple more minutes, Ginny finally gets a fire going. Followed behind her is Clav. Only like 10-15 seconds after, they're both adding sticks, trying to lightly blow on it. Pause. Clav making kind of like a TP looking thing to make the fire rise as Ginny keeps adding more husks. Clav's fire starts getting higher, but all of a sudden the wind starts blowing, pushing his fire away and making it go away a little bit as Ginny keeps adding more of her husk, a lot of it, building her flame more and more, almost to the finish line. But all of a sudden the husk, it does burn quickly, so it starts going down. Clav's, his stick are now on fire. He's adding more to it, making it thicker. His rope is starting to burn. Congratulations, Clav! You are guaranteed into the final 3. I'm so sorry, Ginny. You have been eliminated. She frowns for a second, but then she just shrugs. She's like, you know what? That's fine. I'm rich anyway. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so amazing. Seattle, you deserved it. I'm glad you won the final things. You won a lot. I'm so sorry. You are from my same tribe, so I hope you win. Casey, honestly, I might vote for you anyway because you did such a game, girl. You did amazing. Clav, I might vote for you to win because you beat me in a fire, and what would I look like not voting for you? You did amazing, Clav. Thank you for always being truthful. Bye. And there we have it. The last member of the jury and the last person voted out of this game. You did so amazing, Ginny, which means we have the final 3, these 2 waving at us while Seattle's doing like a little rock sign. You guys will be flown out so the jury can ask you questions, vote, and then we give a $2 million check to one of these 3. The final 3 gets to talk to the entire jury. We get to see everyone back here again. Clive is like, woo, yeah, go Clav. And Clav hearing this laughs a little bit. And Millen's like, are you dumb? We're clearly rooting for Seattle. He did the best. Amelie scoffs a little bit. She's like, Seattle. I think Casey game, if you really think about it, Casey played the best game here. I don't know what you two are talking about, bozos. And I'm like, all right, calm down. You will have time to each ask one person a question. We will start with Clive. Clive, go ahead. All right, Clive, since you should definitely be the winner of this game, why should you win? He's like, well, if you look at the 2 contestants next to me, you may notice that I have the moral high ground. I was honest and truthful with everyone here. Kata, Ginny, if it was up to me, you 2 would be up here instead. No offense, Seattle. No offense, Casey. I'm very proud of my tribe. The fact that 2 of us got to the top 3. Amaya, it is your turn to ask a question. All right, well, my question is for Seattle. You had the least connections in the game, and everyone was kind of just a pawn to you, which I respect. But if everyone is just a pawn, why should the pawns vote you to win? And Seattle's like, well, clearly, between these 2, I have the challenge abilities. I was able to maneuver the game, give my team the morale, not only of strength, but of the mental power to win the competitions when we needed to. I mean, look at the first 5 out. There ain't one mook of my team there. Y'all fumble. I was always straightforward with people. If I didn't like you, I would tell you that. I'll tell you I'm voting you out. Aubrey, go ahead. Ask a question. Seattle, I also kind of live a struggling life, and I know you do as well. Do you think it's fair to vote you just because you need the money more than the others? And Seattle's like, hell yeah, I need that bread, bro. You think I'm doing this for free? I need it. I got mouths to feed more than just my own, please. Millen, go ahead. Ask a question. All right, this is once again also for Seattle. With your idol, did you ever think about using it on someone like besides yourself? He's like, that's a good question, Milan. It's Millen. Whatever you say, villain. To be perfectly honest with you, no. I only got it because of Draco. And a couple people are surprised hearing this because this is the first time they know about this. And he was like, yeah, I gave it to Seattle. And Seattle was like, from there on, I knew I was probably going to use it as soon as I could. It was either that round or the next round. It ended up being that round because there was only 4 people eligible to vote. Logan, your turn to ask a question. She has a question for Casey. I'm very, very happy that someone from our tribe will definitely be the winner. I'm very sure of you and Clav, but Casey, I think you did the most game and you survived the most despite the outcomes. You were supposed to be the first one out, and the fact that you're here, I love a story like that. And Casey's like, oh, well, thank you. That really wasn't much of a question, but Logan, I do appreciate that. Yeah, I was kind of targeted from the beginning and I had to be quiet when I could, make moves when I could, but yeah, I did what I could. Sheila wants to ask a question to Seattle. I think you did a great job of hyping up our team, and I think you had enough good of gameplay to maybe win. However, I've talked to some people, cough, cough, Z, and they're unsure you should win due to your morals. How do you feel about that? Well, immediately coming into this game, it's called drama. I don't know how much morals you can have in drama. You have to be one of the last ones at the end to even get a chance of winning. So as long as I'm here, I need a chance to win. Amelie has a question for Casey. I think you had the best plays. You were definitely the most strategic and you were not afraid to eavesdrop, but were you actually truly aligned with anyone ever? And Casey, she thinks about it a little bit and she was like, you know, not really, but I actually did plan to befriend Amaya as soon as merge hit. I really liked the vibe she put out, but it never happened. But I would have been probably loyal to Amaya. And Amaya, she's like, oh thanks, hell yeah. Angel has a question to Clav. The other two didn't play a honest game, which is okay, but she didn't like the way they did it. She prefers more of like a sassy kind of game. She does respect how Clav played it. Clav, if Jenny and Kata didn't make it to the final 5, who would you have chose to come instead? He's like, well, if I could choose anyone, honestly, it probably would have been Clive or Recon. I know Recon already has a lot of money, but being up here should be more than just monetary or like an adjective to you. It should be about your personality and who you are as a character. And Z's like, that's exactly the reason why I want you to win. Clav, my question is, what would you actually spend $2 million on? And instantly Clav's like, well, I would for sure help my parents, my grandparent. I only got my grandma left. I would give my cat and my gerbil whatever they wanted, probably get 2 ferrets. I'll probably travel the world. I would also love to do that. Recon also has a question for Clav. Would you invest any of that money into my stock franchise? You could have non-diluting advisory shares with a 10% market cap. And Clav said, maybe. And Recon's like, oh, okay. And Draco's, I have a question for Casey. You were trying to help me get payout. I appreciate that so much. I'm honestly thinking of voting Seattle to win. Why should I vote you? Well, because Seattle is a diet me. Let's be for real. And he wasn't even supposed to be in this season, like ick. But in all reality, I played the games I had to. And honestly, Pay was gonna go and I was gonna take you far. You probably would have been up here instead of Clav. And Pay's like, well, I have a question for Seattle. I want you to win. Is there anyone here you were actually loyal to? Like, if you had to pick one person. He's like, well, Draco gave me the idol, so I guess him. And she's like, no. Before he gave you the idol. And he's like, damn, I guess Z. And Z's like, oh, hell yeah. But Seattle, I understand that, but you didn't play the most, like, best game, dog. He's like, yeah, I understand. I have a question to Clav, and I appreciate you trying on the web. Get it. Kata and Jenny both used their questions for Clav as well. What is that thing around your head, by the way? Oh, it's a bandana, I think. I don't know. Maybe my creator will comment down and let us know canonically. Oh my god, you're in the file, dude. Thank you so much. You're repping. However, I gotta actually ask my question to Seattle. Seattle, you were on my team. I know Shiloh likes you, and he's my best friend on the jury. Should I vote you instead of Clav? Because Clav wanted me up there. I don't think you did. And Seattle was like, well, to be honest, I didn't care who won the fire. I think both of you have like equal reasons to win. If you were up here, that would have been fine. And now it is time for the jury to vote. Each of them doing so, writing a name on a piece of paper for someone to win this game. The first vote goes to Clav. The second vote to win goes to Clav. The third vote to win this game goes to Clav. The fourth vote goes to Seattle. The fifth vote goes to Casey. The sixth vote goes to Casey. The seventh vote goes to Casey. It is 3 votes Casey, 3 votes Clav, 1 vote Seattle. The 8th vote goes to Seattle. The 9th vote goes to Clav. The 10th vote goes to Seattle. The 11th vote goes to Seattle. The 12th vote goes to Casey. That's 4 votes Casey, 4 votes Clav, 4 votes Seattle. There's only 3 votes left, yet they are all for the same person. Congratulations, the canon winner of Total Drama YOKAVACHI Island after all this time. Oh my god. Congratulations, Casey! You have won this game. You tried so hard. She's immediately beaming with energy. Here's your $2 million check. She pushes Chris out of the way, sniffing the money, sniffing the check. 1.2 after tax. People are clapping for her. Seattle and Clav are extremely disappointed, but Clav is keeping his chin up. Seattle just looks pissed. Casey, congratulations. You deserved it. You played such a good game. You maneuvered through points you should have been eliminated at. You won exactly when you had to, and when your back was against the wall. You didn't try to talk to people. You didn't just cry and whine. You went and got aisles. Congratulations. She's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna do culinary school. I'm gonna go to fashion school. I'm gonna start my own business. This is my entire life ahead of me. Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and thank you guys so much for watching this. Don't worry, the finalists do get $350,000, about 190 after tax. That'll set you up for a very good time. And they all get to go on a year-long cruise. They're all excited for that. There you guys go. The 15 of you, I wouldn't get too comfortable. There might be a certain house all of you have to get to. Thank you guys so much for watching this. The last 3 votes are all for the same person. Congratulations. The winner after everything. Hope triumphed fair and good conquers evil. Congratulations, Clav. You have won this entire game. You showed everyone that playing fair and trying to be as loyal as possible while not being afraid to make moves is exactly how you take this game. Congratulations. I know a lot of people are extremely happy with this decision. Clive is hugging Clav. He can't wait. They about to spend this money on everything. Hey, you deserved it. You survived so long out here. You had to maneuver through the game. Congratulations. Thank you guys. I hope you guys like his win. Yeah. And with all 3 votes going to the same person, it is clear who won this game. All the odds were against them. No one wanted to talk to them. Everyone was afraid of their strength, and they weren't even accepted to be in this game to begin with. But here they are, the winner. Congratulations, Seattle. I know you need this money. He is extremely hyped for this. He's clenching his fist. He is so hyped. But yes, that's $2 million. Let's fucking go. and a couple of them are a bit shocked, but they do some, awkward claps. Seattle, this is how you win a game of deceit and dishonesty. You deceive and you be dishonest. There you go. Here's your $2 million check. He uppercuts Chris out of the way and then karate chops Chefs out of the way. Don't worry, you, Casey, and Clav are all being sent on a cruise. You 15, I will see you in a certain kind of house that might be full of habit. Let me know in the comments which winning is your preferred one. The canon win, alternate A, or alternate B. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I dare you to have a good day.